Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is Mr. Esquibel, principal here at Abraham Lincoln High School. Buenas tardes a todos. Señor Esquibel, el director aquí en la Lincoln. So just really excited to be here with you all to share very important information in regards to in-person learning. So why don't we go ahead, Mr. Swanson, put up the PowerPoint. Just a couple reminders, right, that this presentation will mainly be in English that I will present in. Esta presentación va a ser en inglés, pero también aquí tenemos la traducción en español. And we also have the translation in Spanish throughout the lesson, throughout the presentation. A couple reminders, we want to make sure that you stay on mute during the presentation. And also during the presentation, if you have any questions, you can type in the chat during the presentation, or at the end of the presentation, we will have some time for questions. So I'll just mention this in Spanish as well. Por favor, mantén el silencio durante la presentación. Y si tiene preguntas, puede escribir en el chat durante esta presentación o puede guardarlas hasta el fin cuando tendremos tiempo para responder sus preguntas. Okay, let's go to the next slide. First and foremost, we want to thank you, parents and families, in supporting your children during the COVID pandemic. We know here at Lincoln High School how challenging and difficult this has been for each and every one of you, for your children to learn remotely. We want to make sure that we know who is here. So I'm going to go ahead, and if these folks are on the call, go ahead and click on your click off mute and your camera so you can introduce yourselves. So go ahead and we'll start. I don't know if Kai's on there or not. If not, Mr. Banuelos, you can start.
Yes, good evening. Buenas tardes. My name is Javier Banuelos. I'm the communication specialist at Lincoln. So all the messaging that you're getting, announcements, they come from me. I'm also the head baseball coach there at Lincoln. Thank you guys for being here with us. Muchas gracias.
Sí, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Fernando Guidiche y soy el encargado de todas las actividades relacionadas con los padres y también de los exámenes en la escuela. Hi, good evening. My name is Fernando Guidiche. I'm the Parent Engagement Coordinator and Assessment Coordinator in Lincoln High School. Thanks for being here.
Okay, thank you for that. We also have some of our assistant principals on the call, and they will be helping throughout the presentation, answering questions during the presentation as well as at the end. So I want to make sure that all of our families know that our priority is to ensure all in-person students have a safe and healthy experience while they are here at Lincoln High School. We will phase in students who selected in-person learning beginning on the 19th of January, which is Tuesday. In-person students will do in-person learning 2 days a week and remote learning 3 days per week. All students will be remote every Friday. And if we move on, we'll be a little bit more specific. So all students who selected in person, you will be divided into 2 cohorts, either AA or BB. AA students will be in person at Lincoln on Mondays and Tuesdays. BB students will be in person at Lincoln on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So now the question is, how do I know if I'm an AA or a BB student? If your last name is A through L, you will be an AA student. That'll be your group. And if your last name is M through Z, you will be a BB student. You will be in the BB group. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to the next slide. In-person students will only report to Lincoln for in-person learning on the 2 days assigned based on your cohort or group, AA or BB. The remaining 3 days, you will be remote. So here are a few examples to make sure you understand what this looks like. So we have a student. This is an example, right? A sample here. The student's name is Antonio Esquibel. He will be attending in person on Mondays and Tuesdays since the last name begins with E. And he will stay home and learn remotely on Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. So in this case, This student, Antonio Esquibel, is an AA cohort group. That is his group, AA, Mondays and Tuesdays, and it is because his last name starts with E. Let's go to the next sample. The next one is we have a student named Emiliana Zapata. She will be attending in person on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and it's because her last name is Z. She will stay home and learn remotely on Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Again, her last name starts with Z, so she will be part of the BB group or the BB cohort. Now, on January 19th and January 21st, we are only going to bring in ninth graders only for in-person learning. Again, only ninth graders, first-time ninth graders, class of 2024. Last names A through L in ninth grade will report on January 19th at 7:40 a.m. because you're an AA student. And then last names M through Z will report on January 21st at 7:40 a.m. because this is the BB student group. Students, you will report to the southeast parking lot and you will be health screened at the gym doors. The rest of the grade levels, grades 10, 11, and 12, you will report to Lincoln beginning on January 25th or the 27th. So 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, if your last name is A through L, you will report on January 25th because you are part of the AA students. Last names M through Z, you will report on the 27th of January because your last name aligns with the BB group. And all students will report to the southeast parking lot and will be health screened at the gym. So remember, next week on January 19th and 21st, only ninth graders will be reporting in person. The week of January 25th, all students, including 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, will report the week of January 25th. Let's go to the next slide. Really important information here. All in-person students, you will be required to bring your Chromebook laptop to school every day. In addition, all students must wear a mask the entire time while at school. You must report no later than 7:40. All students will have the same Q3 class schedule you currently have. So nothing changes. The classes that you have in remote are going to be the same classes you have here at Lincoln at the same time. Remember, we need to make sure two things happen every day with you. You got to have your Chromebook and you have to have your mask on at all times. Those are the two big things that we have to remember in terms of what we are bringing to the school. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. For all students in person, school will continue to begin with Lancer Family at 8:00 a.m. And then you will have periods 1 through 4. The school day will end at 12:10, and students are expected to leave the building at this time. So the schedule is the same. Nothing changes for you. You've been doing remote this whole year with Lancer Family at 8:00. Your Lancer Family will be 8:00 here at Lincoln as well. The school day ends at 12:10. It's going to continue to end at 12:10. It's the same schedule for everybody if you're at home or if you're in person. Nothing changes. Okay, let's move on. Thank you. Now we're going to talk about is arrival. So when you arrive at Lincoln High School by 7:40 a.m., you must fill out the Health Safe Access application at home prior to arriving at Abraham Lincoln. Students may use their cell phone or laptop to access this link or use the QR code. In addition, like I mentioned, you will enter the gym doors next to the southeast parking lot. We will have staff that will take each student's temperature and verify that each student has a health safe access prior to entering the gym doors. While you are in the school, like I said before, all students must wear masks prior to entering the gym doors, and masks must remain on the entire time while in school. Breakfast will be offered when students are dismissed from the gym when you leave to attend Lancer Family. You may take off your mask while you're eating your breakfast. Breakfast will be served and eaten in the Lancer Family classrooms. This is also very important. All students will have access to their class schedule with classroom numbers using their student portal accounts. When you arrive at Lincoln, we will show you how to access your schedule, or you can look it up now. You can go to your student portal account and look it up. The student schedule will tell you which classroom you are in, the classroom number. All students will attend Lancer Family and periods 1 through 4 each day. They are in person at Lincoln and will attend the same classes remotely when at home. So remember, you will only be here 2 days a week and you will be remote 3 days a week. In both situations, you will continue with the same schedule. Nothing changes for you. Also, students, you will move from classrooms to classrooms during a 5-minute passing period. So it is going to look very much like regular school for you in person. When you arrive, you'll be in the gym, and then we'll dismiss you to Lancer Family. When Lancer Family ends, you will leave that class and move to a different classroom for period 1. And then you'll go to period 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you will be moving to different classrooms throughout the building. And the students at home, well, they'll be learning from home. And so you'll be seeing the same classmates, the same students that you've had in your classes all year. You're still going to see them because you're still going to have the same classes. It's just that you'll be here doing that. The school day ends at 12:10. And when the day ends, you have the option to grab a lunch, a free lunch to go. All students must leave the school building at 12:10. So it's very important our parents know that students will be leaving the school at 12:10. So if you are picking up your child, you need to make sure that you plan accordingly. Para los padres deben de saber que el día va a terminar a las 12:10 cada día. Entonces tienen que preparar por eso. We need to make sure that all students leave the building right at 12:10. Let's go to the next slide. Now we're going to talk about our health guidelines. This is very, very important for you to know. Mr. Swanson, why don't you go ahead and go to the next slide so it's up in Spanish and I'll just read it in English. If a student does not follow our school health guidelines, they will be changed back to remote learning and will not be allowed to learn in person. In-person learning requires that safety is our priority and health is our priority. Again, if a student refuses to follow our guidelines, we will send them back to remote for the rest of the school year because we need to make sure that all of our students are safe and all of the staff members are safe. Here are the 6 things that you need to know. You need to wear your mask at all times. Second, social distancing. You need to be 3 to 6 feet separated from your classmates at all times. You are not allowed to touch one another during the day. In the hallways, you need to walk on the right side and follow the blue arrows. We're going to have blue arrows and tape that will show you where to walk. You need to walk on the right side of the hallways. We also need to make sure, number 5, that you only report to the classrooms that you are assigned to on your schedule throughout the day. And then the last here is that we want to make sure that if you feel sick, you do not report to school. And we need to make sure that your parent or guardian calls the school to inform us if you will be absent. If you as a student become sick in the classroom, we will take you out of the classroom by our nurse and we will call home so that your parent can come and get you. The other thing that I forgot, we're going to make sure that you got to make sure you wash your hands frequently and use hand sanitizer. So we have all that here at Lincoln and we'll make sure that that happens. Also, if your student or anyone in your family contracts COVID, you need to make sure that you notify the school immediately. Students will not be allowed to return to school until the mandatory quarantine time has ended. Again, our goal for students returning to school is to make sure that your child is healthy and safe while in person. Nuestro objetivo es asegurarnos de que su hijo esté sano y seguro mientras está en persona. Now, at this time, we would like to play this video. So we're going to play a video. This is an informational video. Ahora vamos a mirar este video informativo sobre las expectativas en persona con su hijo. You can watch this also at your home because we'll have this PowerPoint and this video available, so you can watch this video. But let's go ahead and watch it now. Staying healthy and safe during these unprecedented times. We know you are ready to see our teachers, friends, and experience in-person learning and support. We want to provide you a step-by-step video of the guardrails we will need to follow for only those students and families who have selected in-person learning option for Q2. School will look very different from what it was before the pandemic. We will keep our students, families, and staff safe following the DPS-5 plan. Students will receive a health screening before entering the building every day. That will happen at your house. Wear a mask inside the school throughout the day, other than when eating breakfast and lunch. Students will wash hands or use hand sanitizer throughout the day as well. And practice social distancing. DPS has approved a 3 feet distance between students while they're in their classrooms and 6 feet between the student and teacher. All students must fill out the DPS student health screening form on their computer or mobile phone before coming to school each day. Each student should be checked for COVID-related symptoms. This form can be found on our Abraham Lincoln High School website page in the green banner. You will use your DPS student ID number or student lunch number to log in. Make sure you take a screenshot of the green confirmation screen after completing the form. If any of the following symptoms are present, keep the child at home and stay at home. Inform the school of the symptoms and reach out to a healthcare provider about COVID-19 testing and the next steps for treatment. This daily symptom screener will not be linked to the school. You will still need to report an illness, related absence, or excused absence directly with school attendance line.
In semester 2, students will enter the gym doors next to the southeast parking lot.
At the entrance, you will be greeted by a staff member, also known as a COVID coordinator, who will ask to see the green confirmation screen where it shows the date and time it was submitted. We will check your temperature, ask you the required health screening questions, and you will be provided with hand sanitizer before entering the building. Also, a grab-and-go lunch will be offered to students before being guided to their cohort classrooms, where students will be supported in
I turned the water off already.
in order to reduce the spread of COVID, that the cohort
It's clear to the top.
will not be grouped with other cohorts. You need to make sure you follow the directions and arrows. Students will walk up the stairs or down the stairs using designated sides of the stairwells. Each cohort won't have more than 25 in a classroom. Students who choose in-person and 100% remote learning will continue to access their classes through Schoology on their own computer and connect with teachers using Google Meets. You will have Lancer Family beginning at 8 a.m. And then you will continue to have periods 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that school day will end at 12:10. And then from 12:55 to 3:10, we will continue to have afternoon Lancer Success Hours. The time from 1 o'clock to 3:30 in the afternoon is specifically called Afternoon Lancer Success Hours. These times are for students to work on assigned tasks from teachers. This is a crucial time for students to be able to keep up with their work, as the expectation is students are doing significant work during the afternoons as they would in a live class environment. Teachers are available for support during the first hour of Lancer Success. Students are expected to work independently during the second half of Lancer Success. As a recap, you will do your home health check found on our website. School health check when you arrive. A Lincoln staff member will greet you and make sure you are health screened and a temperature check is done. Masks on at Lincoln at all times. Your mask will be required to enter the building and also your time inside the school. You can remove it to eat and drink while during lunch in your classroom. Social distancing at Lincoln. Please stay 6 feet away from each other while you're walking in the Lincoln area. Use hand sanitizer and wash hands at Lincoln. Use hand sanitizer when you first enter the school. We are very excited to give you the opportunity for in-person support. Remember, stay safe. También tenemos este video en español. Entonces, los que hablan español pueden mirar ese video esta tarde con su hijo o hija. All right. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Guidice, and he's going to give us some information in regards to parent engagement, and then we will open it up for question and answer.
Ok. Buenas tardes. Déjenme cerrar un poquito aquí porque tengo todas las ventanas. Bueno, definitely we have opportunities during January for parents. And then the main activity is the PAC Social Chat that's going to happen in January 26. This time, we're going to try to offer parents information about the clinic team. So they want to talk about mental health service that they can provide or link with the families, and also the kind of support that we can provide for them inside Lincoln High School. Also, we're going to have specialists that will talk and answer questions about substances prevention and how they can support families at Lincoln. So, es importante que el 26 de enero sí se nos puede unir en el social chat, que es la actividad que hacemos mensualmente, donde en lugar de solamente presentar información, tenemos una conversación con ustedes, los padres, para oír sus inquietudes, sus preguntas, sus ideas, y trabajar juntos como un equipo. Este 26 de enero vamos a estar conversando con el equipo de la clínica sobre salud mental, servicios y apoyo y prevención de sustancias que son tóxicas. Cómo podemos trabajar, cómo podemos ayudar a las familias que tengan alguna necesidad en estas áreas. Y qué tipo de recursos ofrece la clínica para las familias del Lincoln dentro del Lincoln High School. Entonces recuerden, el 26 de enero de 5 a 6 de la tarde. So remember, 5 to 6, January 26.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and open it up for question and answer. So ahora vamos a abrir este tiempo para unas preguntas y respuestas, si ustedes lo tienen. So I know that we've answered a lot of questions in the chat line, but we have about 10 minutes to answer any questions. So we'll go ahead and open it up. If you have a question, just either put it in the chat or open up your mic, unmute, and ask us the question.
Yo tengo una pregunta. Los niños de MI program también van a ir 2 días a la escuela.
No, van a hacer lo que están haciendo ahora. Van a estar aquí 4 días.
4 días? Okay.
Lunes a jueves.
I apologize. I just wanted to thank y'all for everything that you do to, teach my daughter. And I know it's a challenging time, but I'll be quick. I just wanted to thank you sincerely for all you do. Thank you, guys.
That's very nice of you. Thank you for that. And more than anything, we thank you as a parent and your children. Without you all, we don't really have a school. So we're here trying to do our best. So thank you for that. Very nice of you. Any more questions? Más preguntas.
¿Por qué puerta va a ser la entrada de los estudiantes del 9º grado?
Las puertas cerca del gimnasio.
Gracias.
Sí, de nada.
Tengo una pregunta.
Buenas tardes.
Hello.
Yeah, buenas tardes. Go ahead.
Hi. I have a question on the sports. How is that going to work out? Or if they have HP?
I can answer your question.
So we've been approved to have indoor sports during our season B is what we're calling it. What sport is your daughter interested in?
I think it was basketball.
Okay. So for girls basketball, they're going to have tryouts, and we sent out information on the 19th. So I will make sure that what's your daughter's name?
Justice Gonzalez.
Okay. I will make sure Justice gets the information. And there will be a procedure that they'll have to follow to come into the building, very similar to what we were talking about with the in-person. So every time they come back in the building, that procedure will be pretty much the same. They'll have to register on Family ID. They will have to have a current physical, and they will also have to register on a program that we call Big Teams. So I'll make sure you get that information. Volleyball will be the same thing. Boys basketball will be the same thing. We've had some sign-up opportunities, so I will make sure that your student sees those once again on our Schoology site for all of the students. Cheerleading as well. So I will make sure that you guys get that information. Your student should see it on Schoology, and you can reach out to me, Mr. Larry Guile, and I'm the athletic director. So I'll make sure that if you have a question about a specific sport, that I put you in contact with those coaches.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Just to follow up on that, if you talk with your child, an email was sent to them last week from Mr. Guile and Mr. Banuelos, giving you information about sports. So they just have to go back and look at that email.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Tengo una pregunta. Es que sí recibimos el correo electrónico, pero bueno, al menos yo sí lo recibí. Está un poco confuso. Yo así lo entiendo. Las clases empiezan el 19, pero dependiendo a los apellidos y los grupos. Entonces, como mi hijo se apellida Martínez, él empieza el día 27. Entonces, los demás días va a estar igual en línea.
Correcto, sí. Si el apellido es de M, él va a ir los miércoles y jueves. Y los otros días él va a estar en línea.
Ok, esa era nomás mi pregunta. Entonces, él empieza el día 27, es miércoles y jueves, y los demás días van a ser en línea, pero antes del 27, él va a estar igual en línea. Ok, muchas gracias.
De nada. Gracias.
Hello. Excuse me.
Tengo otra pregunta. Disculpe, estaba escuchando sobre los deportes para los jóvenes. ¿Podrían poner ya sea en un correo electrónico o mandar cuáles son los deportes que van a estar disponibles para los estudiantes, tanto para niños como para niñas?
Claro, sí, yo me encargo de mandarles toda esa información sobre los deportes. Cada martes yo mando anuncios semanales de aquí de la Lincoln. Si va el que mandé este último martes, ahí está poquita información sobre lo que está pasando con deportes y también el enlace para la página web sobre los deportes, donde le va a dar la información de los entrenadores y también cómo se puede inscribir un estudiante a los deportes.
Ok, muchas gracias.
De nada, oiga.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
I'm in this meeting because I was gonna go in person. So I talked to my mom about it, and she said that it was a mistake because she chose that I was gonna go in remote learning. So, like, she was wondering like who can we call or email or like what can we do to change that, because in today's like morning in advisory, my teacher told me to email this person, and she could like change that, make it happen. So I did. So, and then I was in this meeting wondering like what can we do to change that?
Are you looking to change to remote learning? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, if you call the main line, they can make that change for you, but we do have to have the parent call. It can't just be the student. We do have the parent, we need the parent permission to do that. If you emailed that person that they told you, it probably got to the correct person. And in that case, you got on our list and we will make the call out to parent to confirm that, and then we will make the switch for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any more questions? ¿Hay más preguntas?
Mr. Esquibel, can you explain, because there are a question that is repeated in the chat about what is the step that we will follow is we find somebody that is sick. What is the procedure that the school is gonna follow?
Sure. If we find out a student has COVID, then what we will do is we will identify any of the students that were sitting close within 6 feet of the student. If any student was sitting close to that student who has COVID, then we will notify the family, and then that student or those students will have to quarantine at home, I believe for 10 days. So we will notify parents if that happens.
Tengo una pregunta. Ustedes en la escuela no van a estar haciendo pruebas del COVID sin autorización de los papás, ¿verdad?
No, no vamos a hacer eso.
Okay.
La escuela,
Okay.
la escuela no ofrecen eso.
Ok, sí, quería estar segura de eso, de que si van a hacer pruebas, pues sí va a ser con la autorización de los papás, pero muchas gracias. ¿El horario de escuela, entrada y salida es el mismo o cambió el horario?
Es lo mismo, a las 12:10 de la tarde cada día.
Ok, perfecto, muchas gracias.
Es importante aclarar que en el estacionamiento de la escuela hay un centro para hacerse la prueba del COVID, pero es separado de la escuela. O sea, si la gente que se va a hacer la prueba allí es porque ha hecho una cita y se le ha asignado y ellos van a ese lugar y se toman la prueba, pero no tiene nada que ver con que nosotros la apliquemos a los alumnos en la escuela.
Disculpe, una pregunta. Mi hijo va a seguir en la escuela en línea. La maestra le dijo que él tenía que ir. Yo puse que él se iba a quedar aquí en la casa. ¿Cómo le podría hacer?
Claro, oiga, lo que puede hacer es llamar a la oficina principal o me puede mandar un correo electrónico a mí, a Javier Bañuelos.
Okay.
O responder a los anuncios que yo les mando cada semana. Me puede responder con el nombre de su estudiante y yo me encargo a dejar saber la oficina.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Claro.
All right, I think we're going to go ahead and end our session. As a reminder, all of you will receive this PowerPoint presentation. We will also make sure that this video is posted on our website, and Mr. Banuelos will make sure that it is on all of our social media for those students that are in person. Thank you so much. Hope you're all safe. Y nos vemos, algunos de ustedes, el 19 y el 21. Y los otros vamos a ver el 25 o el 27 de enero. So for some of you, next week on the 19th, 21st, and also for the others, we will see on the 25th and 27th. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Gracias por todo. Buenas noches.
Thank you.